Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at Timberborn, the semi-full release. So we had a lot of fun back in the demo, and the first early access release that you can purchase has gone out on the store. I spent enough time in the demo that I felt like it was totally worth the money to get in and buy the early access release. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I have unlocked the folktales because they're default, and I've also unlocked the Iron Teeth. This will be my first time ever using the Iron Teeth, and yeah, let's go ahead and choose them and get going. Let's go on, let's see, I've never done Meander. Let's do Meander, and we're gonna go on normal. I've played on normal a little bit already, and it is not what anyone would call hard. I'm gonna try some hard and some custom later on, but let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so here we are, and the first start, and there's, take a look at the whole map. This is where the water comes in, goes around, and around. Okay, so there we go. We've got a limited amount of usable land, and we don't start near a whole bunch of it, but on the upside, we don't have that much to worry about. So paths in the release version are a little bit different. They are super important for making sure that everything gets to where it's supposed to go, and they extend your supply line. So if I click on this building here, I can see a color on the pathway to represent the pathways that the beavers will take, and if they can get there. If it gets red, then it's going to take them a long time to get out there, and if the path disappears, the green here, this center line, if that disappears, then the beavers will not go past that. They kind of do, they kind of don't. Anyways, let's go ahead and build out some pathways to the sides. They don't cost anything, which is great, but let's see. One of the first things that we to do, oh, that's too high. How are we supposed to get water? Ah, okay, so I've figured out how we're supposed to get water. Let's make sure we have a path going down there so we can get some water. So let's say grab a pump and make sure that is connected up with the pathway. There we go. And see, that's green. They will actually go out there and do that. So let's put in a little bit of a gatherer's flag over here. Direction doesn't really matter so much. And let's also put in a lumber flag. And we're going to put it right there so that it reaches the whole forest over here. And even still, before we get going, we're going to go ahead and set up the cut trees, and the gatherer will do its own thing. Also, when we first start out, we need a log pile. That's as good as I can think we could need. A small warehouse. That will also come in handy. So that should take care of all of our immediate needs, except for a way to store water. So I don't want the water storage to be too far away from the water generation. Let's go ahead and let them go, and we're going to speed things up just a touch. Go, they have created those, and while they're going through and collecting the first sets of logs and stuff, let's take a look at any of the specific to these beaver things. So it looks like all of these platforms are universal. Landscaping is universal. Storage, the industrial log pile is unique. It takes 12 wood to make instead of being basically free. Capacity 180, so that's nearly double. Small warehouse, standard. Large warehouse, standard. But the other faction does have a little bit more in the way of storage options. Labor options are universal. Housing options are flavored different. Oh, okay. We will work our way toward that large row house here soon. Nothing new in the water, nothing new in the food, nothing new in the wood, nothing new in the metal. Engine. Okay. Engines are an option in the Iron Team. That's nice. Regular old science, regular old leisure, nothing special in decoration or in monuments. Okay, so that gives us a little bit of an idea on what's what. Oh, yeah, breeding pod. So this is their preferred and only way to reproduce, which is interesting. And even the small house fits 10. So, yeah, that'll work. We're slowly generating a little bit of water and a little bit of wood. Got our wood pile up and going. So at the moment, since we don't have this all sorted out, there's no way for them to go pick up water on their own. They have to go pump it themselves. So let's make that a nice high priority, because otherwise they do it in order. And they've all just passed out on on the ground right here. Oh, they're cute. Anyways, we are going to run into an issue with wood generation and fat. And we can't plant trees and stuff until we research a way to do that. We're going to go ahead and slap that down, and they'll get to that when they get to it. Yes, I realize that we've set ourselves up for a lot right here. Let's see. Oh, an alternate path for the water and tons of storages. Up here, we could probably stick down a lumberjack flag. And that's going to get most of them. And we're going to set up the cut trees for here as well. There we go. So, I don't actually know if they will get all of those trees, but it's worth a try. And they're sleeping again. Okay, so while we wait for them to build all these things out, we are going to plop down a farmhouse and get them planting something so that they are not totally without food. Let's go ahead and go to plant crops, and we're going to start out with the good old standby of some carrots. Now, it's probably not going to be super duper efficient out here, so we're going to plant a good bit of them. Clear out some of it that will never properly be close enough. That'll work. They just also have to build that. Okay, so we've got a inventor shack going up. That will work. We currently only have 3 unemployed, and 2 job positions are about to get filled. So shortly after we get the forester open up, we're going to plant as many bushes as we can, because if you remember, we looked over here at housing. We need 5 water and 5 berries for the breeding pod. So we need to secure berries for that. We've also got, the carrots for the full-grown beavers. Wish there was a good way to limit what each type of beaver eats, but we'll sort that out. Okay, and so we have enough for the forester. Let's go ahead and unlock that. And let's see what best way to set up the board. That's not going to get enough land to make that useful. I don't want to eat into that land for production, so we are going to slap it in over here, and we're just going to hope for the best. So let's go ahead and set the tree planting, and this time we're just going to go with birch, because grow the fastest, and we'll worry about something more or better later. Let's see, what else do we need? We need this very convenient. Oh, we don't have wooden stairs yet. We'll get wooden stairs here. Once we get wooden stairs, we're going to build down to this portion, and then we will start putting in our dams and levees, which we don't have levees yet either, but we'll get there. We'll get there soon. So for the immediate plans, we're gonna throw down a couple. Where's the house? these guys. Okay. Okay. So, looking at how those go in, we're going to do a... We're going to go over 1, 2, 3. And that should give us enough room for 6 of these breeding pods. They may be overkill. They may be way overkill. Especially since everybody's hungry. I mean, I slapped down the carrots and stuff as fast as I could, but I could only do it so fast. Let's plant us some bushes. Boom. That bush is going down. Okay, what is this new icon? That says breeding halted, waiting for nutrients. Okay, yeah, this was a bad time to start putting into breeding pods. That's okay. We'll sort this out. And we've already lost one of our beavers. Actually, we've lost a couple of our beavers. We now have 8 adults. We need to make sure that we've got enough folks over there, so we're going to pull some folks off of this, which is basically building duty. And our first... Oh, that's not great. That's very... Okay, so let's... I realize that we're throwing away resources when we do this. But let's throw away a few of these breeding tanks and then put them on pause. Deal with the breeding pods later. Whew. Okay, so with that said, and our first drought looming, we need more water storage. And that is a very high priority. Because as soon as we've got that, we should be able to make it through one of these droughts. Now, our food production is going to halt during the drought because we have no water management yet. But we're just going to have to tough it out and hope for the best. We are actually generating some carrots now. Something. Planks. It's okay. Set that up after the drought goes. It looks like our carrots are finally maturing. We might have enough to make it through a 2-day drought. We might not. Let's see. Let's come back as soon as the drought starts and see how things go. Okay, so the drought has started. And yes, the river flows the direction that I thought it would, and we were not able to get these small water tanks put in before the drought. We've got nearly 4 days to go through, so this is make or break. We have half a field of these carrots here and nearly 2 tanks of water. So it's going to be tight. It's going to be very tight trying to get through there, but we'll see if we make it. We've put a pause on our research, even though it is super handy. We're going to go ahead and research our stairs because that's going to be what lets us get down here. But we're going to be short on planks. So one of the next things that we're going to build on here is plank production, assuming that we make it through the drought. Now, I don't know how it's intended to make it through this drought, but hopefully we've got enough food for this. We did dedicate almost all of the green space for food production, and we got it going pretty quick. So yeah, let's hope for the best. We got 140-ish on the food, and even more in the ground. We are quite low on wood, and now we are almost totally out of water. We've made it through a little bit of it. We've got 2 more days left of the drought. So yeah, let's see if we survive. And the drought has ended. So we made it through the drought with the 5 beavers left. So we need to get those pods up and going ASAP. And we also maybe need to see if there are places that we can get berries, because without a forester, you can't actually plant the berries, and the forester requires 7 planks, which we do not have. It's a little bit heartbreaking to see these carrots dry out and die, like half of our food just go up in smoke. Yeah, not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. And we don't really have the beavers necessary. Actually, we need to dedicate somebody to a water pump. There we go. We have somebody on the water pump now. We don't get these up and going, then we won't be able to replenish our beavers. That's scary. But it is really nice being able to turn on and off the breeding pods, so you don't all of a sudden have an influx of new beavers. Yeah, everybody's hurting for water. We'll get that fixed, and we'll get that fixed as fast as we can. Let's see, lumberjack flag. How much lumber do we have? We have 57. 6. Okay, there we go. So let's put a pause on the lumberjack flag. And then we've got one unemployed, so we will turn back on the builder, be able to build stuff, and I think somebody will be able to keep an eye on this. Breeding progress, whatever. Anyways, they have water, they have some berries. They're not going to grow fast because we don't have much in the way of berries. We need to get that forester thing sorted out pretty quick. Need a lumber mill, 50 horsepower. And let's see, what do we have for power again? I have a power wheel. I'm going to take a beaver to run it. We're going to have to run that sporadically. Yes, I realize I could probably use some water power, but it's more... it's going to take more to do that than it is to do anything else. Because I'd have to put in power over there and then do power across or whatever. It's not going to be easy, especially with so little access to like the actual water. Let's see. We're gonna hang out here and check out what it looks like when beaver comes out of the water. And there we have it. We have a brand new baby beaver. It does show up in as a child. So we will have to grow this child into a working adult. We're going to let the breeding pods go for a little bit, and we're basically going to try to maintain the status quo for a little bit. We're going to turn back on the lumberjack flag and pause District 1, the main center, and see if we can get a little bit more wood stored up. We are totally out, and we still need to do some of the lumber mill stuff. But I think that's where we're going to call it here today, before we start in our second drought. Let me know what you think, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Well, it looks like that's going to do it for us today, guys. I wanted to say thank you for hanging around this long. If you did and you haven't already hit subscribe, please do. Just so you don't miss out on any of the other cool stuff coming on down the road. If you'd like to hang out with us, please hit us up on Discord. Link is in the About section on the channel, or you can go to discord.wonsnot.com, and I will see you guys in the next one.